Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about my book, Crown of the Sundered Empire, which is in mirror because I'm using a front-facing phone, but this is currently a standalone story, though chronologically it takes place after Songs of Insurrection and Masters of Deception Without Glare right there. So enough of my ugly mug, I'm going to go give you a slideshow.
Crown of the Sundered Empire is a military fantasy which follows the conflict between the chosen people of the sun god Solaris and the descendants of his mortal son. Both believe they are ordained by the god to bring peace and prosperity to what was once the sprawling empire of Arkoth. It was devastated by a magical disaster known as the Hellstorm 3 centuries prior, coincidentally when both of these peoples first appeared on the continent. Needless to say, they don't like each other very much, and neither is bringing much peace at the moment. In fact, many of the chosen people don't like each other either. They've chosen to split into 3 different kingdoms. Some reviewers erroneously compare the conflict to Christianity versus Judaism, when nothing could be further from the truth. There's a much more complex backstory here, to which there are many hints embedded. Crown of the Sundered Empire follows 5 main characters. Tomas is an ugly young fisherman. Because of his mismatched eyes, he pretends to be a diviner, when he's really just using his excellent spatial intelligence. When the magic-hating Bovians, the descendants of the sun god's mortal son, capture his homeland, they gouge out one of his eyes. He later finds a fake eye, which turns out to be possessed by a demon, who speaks unintelligible whispers in his head. I've always had a fascination with military geniuses of humble origins, so Napoleon and Hideyoshi were my main inspirations. His arc runs parallel to the 4 others. Corin is the crown prince of Sarakoth, but since he cannot be with his forbidden love, he charges recklessly into battles in hopes of dying. Instead, he keeps winning, until he is captured by the scheming crown prince of neighboring Tarkoth, who wants to force him into marriage. The proposed exchange of nuptials, forced by the point of a sword, is meant to unite the 3 Alderi kingdoms so that they can better face the threat from the Bovians. With a spirit as fiery as her hair, Elena is a pivotal part of this arrangement. Though born to the king of Tarkoth, she was adopted by the queen regnant of Corinth after her own daughter went missing. Elena would rather be out exploring the forest instead of being burdened by the responsibilities of royalty until she meets Elward. As the king of Tarkoth's bastard son, Alward joined the navy to escape the scorn of the court. More comfortable around sailors, he lacks social graces. The last thing he wants to do is get involved with politics, but then his ship is tasked with bringing Elena to meet Elrain. Elena and Alward were NPCs in a Dungeons & Dragons world I created as a teenager. They were meant to be the stars of my writing until the Dragon Song saga took off. Which brings us to the 5th main character, the glue that holds all my stories together, the half-elf ninja Jia. She's hunting a clan traitor and somehow finds herself mixed up in all of this. With the people of the Sundered Empire pining for the return of the last Imperator with the crown of Arcos, these 5's actions will determine the fate of millions.